Report.
Okay, I'm sure we've all gone to a store and we've tried to make purchases either for ourselves or for a friend, maybe for a birthday or something like that. Today is actually going to go over something that may help you make your decisions when purchasing anything such as a video game, for instance. To begin with, the ESRB company, the one that we're going to be discussing today, which actually stands for Entertainment Software Rating Board, is filled with over 100 to 200 different people at any given time. Just to simply get on the rating board, you have to have, like previously, worked with children, either psychology or sociology, teaching, anything like that. Secondly, it's not just one category of people. It's also a diverse ethnic, religious, and anything really. You're not just going to find one category. It's going to be filled with many different people in the ESRB committee. This actually gives incredibly diverse ratings, so it's not just going to be one person rating any game. It's multiple people rating the same game over and over and over again, frame by frame, and they also go over a script which is written for a game just like it would be written for a movie, like I said, to ensure the best rating possible. The reason the ESRB wants people that have worked with kids is because the majority of gamers out there actually are young teens, children, and by working with children, this ensures a parent's perspective on everyday things. Like I said, who or why? Well, we have the who. Now why? To begin with, you don't want to purchase something or get your hands into something that you may not be it may not be suitable for the person you're giving to, or even yourself, or anything like that matter. Every game has its own respectable rating, anything from C plus or C to E plus 10, T, M, and AO. I know all the ratings sound completely new, but they can actually be easily identified with movies out there. For example, you would have C, which is early childhood, which is incredibly similar to G or PG. Next would be T, which is close to a PG-13 movie. M is actually suitable for 17 and older, and is closest to an R-rated movie. I myself work at GameStop, so I always have people asking me, hey, would this be suitable for my kid? He's this old, he likes this and that. One of the first things I'll say is, oh, well, would you let them watch a movie of this sort, and find a movie closest to that genre or category of the game. That way it kind of allows the parent to make a decision based off of that. Secondly, I will actually refer to the rating each game is given. So I'll tell them, are they at least a teenager? If so, I recommend T. If they're not 17 or older, there's specific content found within each game that most likely isn't suitable for your kid. Next, I can actually explain how you can go about finding the rating on your own. Here's an example of a video game box which you may find in any store you go into. The front and the back. On the front, you'll actually notice on the bottom left corner, M, for example, like I said, mature rated and suggested for 17 and older, is actually mature for blood and gore, intense violence, strong language. So all this stuff is actually real important. That way you don't go ahead and get a 10-year-old a mature rated game, because they may not be mentally or socially acceptable in some areas. Also, another huge importance of the ESRB is to allow parents or someone buying a game the peace at mind that the game isn't going to be too hostile towards the kid's lifestyle already. I know many people out there say video games do inflict upon their kids' actions, so it's real wise to go ahead and check out the rating first. Like I said, you wouldn't want to go ahead and buy a 10-year-old a mature rated game, just like you might not want to take them to see a R-rated movie. In other words, or some content that may be found, which I already said, in a mature rated game would be language, violence, gore, even suggested themes. The difference from a mature rated game to E-rated game would be E-rated game you'll find like crude humor. It may be something like a Barbie game or a Dora the Explorer, which at most will contain cartoon violence. And then, finally, just to reiterate, the ESRB plays probably the most important role because they can allow the appropriate rating given to each parent or child or teenager, anything, which ensures that they stay safe as far as their maturity level goes, because you wouldn't want to get stuck into a situation without knowing everything about it to begin with. Just to restate, ESRB means Entertainment Software Rating Board, and they're filled with many diverse people, hundreds of them actually. And now that you guys know what the ratings are about and why they are so important, I told you where you can go ahead and find them. So you guys can actually probably shop without fear of having your 10-year-old see any inappropriate cursing or language or violence that you wouldn't want them to see. So was there any questions that I could answer for anyone?
Questions?
Look, Brianna's got a question. Go ahead, Brianna.
Go ahead, Brianna, ask your question.
If something that a kid wants and it's over the age, does a parent have to go with them?
Actually, that's a great question. Like I said, I myself work at GameStop. It's a video game retail store. We actually require that a minimum age to buy a mature rated game, you have to at least be 17 years or older. This further ensures that a young kid or young teenager can't just go ahead and pick up any game they want. They actually have to have the approval of the parent, which allows the ESRB to make these certain ratings, not just for any reason, because they actually stand for something. Did that answer your question completely?
Yes.
Okay.
I can't pause it. Question?
Is there a pricing?
Every game is priced off of how popular it is, how new it is. But unfortunately, the ratings don't inflict any price upon the actual game. You can have an E-rated game, which is going to be $60, or a mature rated game, which is $60. The main part is, though, to make sure the rating is suitable for the kid. Is there anything else that can be answered?
How long has this always been around?
The ESRB hasn't always been around. In fact, not every game used to always be rated. Every game would just pretty much be put out there, and based off of the back of the box where people would look at the pictures, it would just be, should I get this or should I not? But now that times have kind of changed, parents are a little bit more inclined to see what their kid is actually doing, how they're doing in school, how they're doing with friends. You may not want to get that mature stuff, especially if it's a young kid, even in that T-rated stuff. But just recently, they are getting more and more popular, and the ESRB is cracking down on the slightest thing, so you can be safe on knowing that.
Okay, is that it? Yep.
Yep.
Okay.
Wow.